Hi everyone, Sawadee-ka. Today is the day before Thanksgiving, so we're at my mom's house and we are preparing some food for tomorrow because it's like a big feast where we make a lot of things.
Mary, can you tell us what is Thanksgiving?
Thanksgiving is supposed to be about how the Pilgrims and the Indians or the Native Americans came together and had this very peaceful feast and love and peace around the world, but that's not really the truth. The Pilgrims kind of slaughtered the natives, but it's not so much about that now. It's more about just like giving thanks for the people in your life and what you appreciate and coming together and having this big feast with your family and eating a lot of turkey and filling your stomach with pie. And right now I've sliced up some sweet onions to be really thin, and I'm gonna soak these in buttermilk, and then after that we'll let them soak for a while and then we'll coat it in flour and fry them, and this is gonna go in what we call a green bean casserole. So I have some buttermilk here. And this will soak for a bit, and then we'll coat them in flour and fry them. And next we're going to make the cream of mushroom soup, which also goes in the green bean casserole. Now I have some white mushrooms and I'm going to chop these up for the cream of mushroom soup. So we have some finely chopped white mushrooms here, and then I have some finely chopped garlic here, and we're gonna take some butter. We're gonna put 2 tablespoons in a pan to make our cream of mushroom soup. So I have a pan here that's been heating up, a tablespoon and a half there. So we want to get our butter nice and melted, and we want it to coat the pan. And then we're going to take our finely chopped mushrooms and add them in.
Smells good.
And then we're going to add a little bit of salt. Just let those cook for a little bit. Now that the moisture has evaporated from the mushrooms, we want to add 1 big tablespoon of flour to make a roux for our soup, to make it nice and thick.
What's a roux?
A roux is typically, you do it with onions and butter and flour. See how it's nice and coated with the flour now? Then when we add the liquids for our soup, it'll make it really thick. So a lot of thick soups and like chowders are made with a roux. And now we are going to add our 2 tablespoons of chopped garlic. Okay, so we're gonna add a little splash of red wine. And that will deglaze the pan, add a little bit of flavor too. A cup of chicken stock into the pan. And then we are going to add heavy cream, which is very heavy, but this is cream of mushroom soup. About a cup. We're gonna mix that in. For seasoning, we are gonna hit it with some soy sauce.
Ooh.
Now I'm gonna raise the heat and we'll let this cook. And this is pretty much going to act as a sauce for our green bean casserole, which will take green beans, you know, shock boil and shock them in cold water so they're not completely cooked. And then we'll coat it in this and top with our fried onions and put it in the oven and let it bake until it's bubbly. And that's the green bean casserole. So now it is nice and cooked and thick and rich. So now we're just gonna put this in a bowl and it's nice and ready for tomorrow. We have a bowl of flour here to bread our onions, and I'm just gonna add a little bit of salt to the flour, pepper. I'm gonna add a little bit of seasoned salt, which is a mix of like salt and sugar and spices and stuff. So we're gonna take our onions that have been soaking in buttermilk. We're gonna add them to the flour. Get them coated. And here we have a pot of vegetable oil that's been heating up. So now we're gonna fry our onions. We'll just add a little bit at a time so they don't get too crowded. So as they get nice and like a golden, crispy brown, we're gonna take them and set them aside. And once they're done, we'll add a little bit more salt and pepper so they're nice and seasoned. Let's do a little tester. We'll add some salt and some pepper. Let's try. We have our fried onions, nice and crispy and coated in salt, and they are delicious, so I'm gonna eat some of it. We are going to mix this in with our cream of mushroom soup and green beans, and then they're also gonna go on top as a crispy topping. So I'm just making some handmade pie crust here, and we have little bits of butter in the crust. So I'm folding them so it creates like layers of butter, which will make it nice and flaky. It is now Thanksgiving morning, which is why I'm in my pajamas and I look messy. I have par baked the handmade crusts I made, which is when you kind of half bake them. And I've made some apple pie filling here, which is like a cinnamon sugar mix that we cook the apples in. And now we're gonna spoon them into our crusts and then top them with some more crust, and then they'll go in the oven.
The kitchen looks different.
Yeah, we're back at our apartment, and then once these are done, we're gonna head back over to my mom's house for me. All right, so we have some of my dough rolled out flat, and we're going to slice it into strips to make the top for our pie. And we're gonna take these, I'm just gonna lay it on top of here. And I'm gonna take this one, start making our little woven top. Alright, so now that we have egg washed our pies, we're gonna put them in the oven for like 45 minutes. There you go. Okay, so now it's been like 45 minutes, an hour maybe, and we're gonna take our pies out of the oven. So here is our first one, nice and brown on top from the egg wash. And here is our second one, a little less brown but still good. And nice and bubbling hot. This is American apple pie. Today is Thanksgiving Day, and we have the turkey in the oven, along with the green bean casserole I made. I combined the mushroom soup, the green beans, and some fried onions. The turkey has to cook for about 4 more hours. My mom has put up lots of decorations, and we have our table over here. So this is my mom. Mom, say hi.
Hi.
And she is basting the turkey in the juices it's been cooking in to give it nice flavor.
This is the baster. And you just want to run its juices all over so it doesn't dry out.
And what do you have stuffed inside the turkey?
An orange, some celery, some sage, and an onion.
What did you brine it in?
William and Sonoma, orange spice, and it's a wet brine. And you do it overnight, at least 12 hours. It's been cooking for almost 3 hours. The last hour, I'm going to flip it over. That's good too.
All right, so this is our finished turkey, and it looks really, really good. And we have a honey baked ham over here, and some homemade gravy, while we reheat the rest of the side dishes and get ready for everything.
What is this?
This is cranberry sauce. People like to put it on their turkey for like a little salty, sweet kind of thing. You slicing the turkey, Jira?
Yeah.
It's not dry.
Oh, turkey's wonderful.
How is it?
I cooked it really good.
Really good.